Okay.
7:36.
We good? Let's rise for the Lord's Prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
President, Mr. Persing.
Here.
Vice President, Mrs. Hovenstein. Here. Secretary, Mr. Anderson.
Here.
Treasurer, Mrs. Scandal. Here. Mr. Griffiths. Mr. Kashner.
Here.
Mr. Shuey.
Here.
Mrs. Smugin. Mr. Sosnowski.
Here. We'll entertain some citizens' comments.
Okay, anybody in the audience? None. And just checking the computer here. I don't see any.
And we
Any
can
come in, we'll come back
We
to
can
it.
come back to it, okay? All right, work session, Chris?
Okay, I have some things I want to go over, and then Mr. Hynoski is here, and Mr. Carnuccio, to give a brief report on happenings in both of the buildings. So I'm going to start talking about cyber school costs and the impact of those cyber school costs on our budget. So as you can see on the screen, we have a little chart there, the 12-year history of Shamokin Area School District cyber charter costs totaled $16,270,673.34. And as you can see, the trend is that just keeps going up and up every single year. In 2019-20, the total charter school tuition payments were nearly $2.2 billion. If you put that in perspective, that would pay the average salary of 31,100 teachers, and is more than 3.2 times what school districts spent on providing students with career and technical education programs. Nearly $700 million of the total tuition to cyber charter schools, which is $227 million more than what school districts spent on all student activities such as athletics and extracurriculars. The cost of charter schools for school districts keeps going up, obviously. Since 07-08, tuition costs have grown by more than $1.4 billion. There's a 253.2% increase, while the enrollments have only increased 117.8%. So there's a 117.8% increase in enrollment, but yet a 253% increase in costs. And if you take a look at the next chart, you could see the gap keeps widening between the costs and enrollment. Enrollment goes up at one level, but costs go up at a even more increasing level, which is very alarming. In Pennsylvania, there's 163 brick and mortar cyber charters. 14 are cyber, strictly cyber. There's 169,000 students enrolled in cybers for the 2021 school year. And for those of you that aren't aware of this, they are governed by privately managed boards of trustee and number, and may set their own and cyber charter, little or no connection to accountability, taxpayers in the communities and they can sit on multiple, and all this information from the school district here or the website pacharterchange.org. Next slide. While it's true families of children who attend charter schools do not pay any tuition directly to the charter cyber school, students do attend cyber charters at the public's expense. Districts are required by law to make tuition payments to a charter school for every student residing in the school district who enrolls in the cyber charter school, and that includes students who enroll who were never in our school district. Maybe they were previously homeschooled or just moved to our district, never set foot in our buildings, yet we pay millions of dollars oftentimes to support those schools. At Shamokin area, we spend approximately $2.2 million each year on cyber charters. The cost per student for us is $10,119 per regular ed student and $21,829 for special ed student. Again, you can see that chart, 12 years, $16.2 million. As far as looking in the county, if you look at Northumberland County, percent of operating budget that goes towards cybers. Shikellamy is at 2.7% of their budget, Lime Mountain 2.4, Milton 1.2, Mount Carmel area 4.4, Warrior Run 1.8, and purple there you see Shamokin area 6.6% of our budget goes to cyber charter schools. Some people ask, well, why do you think we're such higher number than others? If you look at data, oftentimes students that enroll in cyber schools, majority of those come from high poverty districts. So I'm sure that is a big reason why our number's higher, since we have a higher poverty rate than the other schools mentioned there. And you can see the dollar amounts on top of the red bars on the bar graph for each of the other schools in Northumberland County. So if you're thinking about cyber education for your child, we're asking that instead of going to an outside cyber, sign your child up for Shamokin Area's Virtual Academy. Simply call our business office at 648-5752, extension 4114, and ask to be enrolled in the Shamokin Area Virtual Academy, and we'll set you up with paperwork and get you enrolled right away for the upcoming school year. Why should you think about coming to Shamokin Area's Virtual Academy? Number one, you'll graduate with the Shamokin Area Diploma. We'll provide you with your own Chromebook. You can participate in clubs and activities here at the district, and we will be having clubs and activities in the elementary school this year as well. You can participate in our athletic programs, prom, graduation. You'll get a better education for your child at a fraction of the cost, and we're encouraging all outside cyber students to return to in-person learning, which of course we think is the best way to learn, or Shamokin Area's Virtual Academy. We're offering up to $500 in educational incentives for those who come back from outside cybers. And if you help refer a student come back to our school district from an outside cyber, you can earn up to $100 in educational incentives. So we're doing everything we can to promote what we have here to offer, and I believe what we have here to offer is better than what they're getting at the outside cyber school. What else can you do to help fix the problem? Contact your local legislators. Let them know it's time for cyber charter funding reform. I know that's a hot topic right now. We can't keep up with these growing costs. It's crippling our budgets. It forces us to raise taxes and cut programs and services for our own kids in order to have to pay millions of dollars to cyber charter schools. So if you're somebody who's interested in coming back, come back. We'll work with you. And if you're somebody who your child's already in school here, get out there, contact your local legislators, pass the word around, try to get, if you have neighbors or relatives in outside cybers, do everything you can to encourage them to come back. We'll sit down with our principals and we'll have conversations to help you get back in a Shamokin Area School District. Just another note, the amount of money that we incurred in additional expenses this year due to students with COVID and the pandemic going to outside cybers. We had about 25 additional students go to outside cybers this year, 9 regular ed, 16 special ed. It probably costs us an additional $450,000 this year in our budget than a normal year. So again, we got to do something about it. Our legislators have to help us, and I know some of them are trying their best, but we have to be more vocal about this in order for something to change. That's all I have about cyber charter schools. If anybody has any questions, sure.
I do have a question. I've been told, not to substantiate this, but I've been told that cyber charter schools all have millions of dollars sitting in their capital reserves, yet all of a sudden these schools, keep paying into these cyber charter schools, and and our costs are going up, and our capital expenses are going down, our capital reserves are going down, but they're sitting on millions of dollars in these cyber charter schools. I have nothing to, I've been told this, but I don't know if you have research has proven this.
Funny you said that, because I have some research here about that. I don't know if I should name the charter school, but it's Commonwealth Charter Academy, CCA. They have a fund balance at this June 30th, 2018 financials that I pulled on them. They had a fund balance of $37,832,500 $553.
And then what's our fund balance?
Negative 5.7 million. And this is the one that gets me. In pulling up their reports, the amount in their budget that they spent to a group in Harrisburg called the Bravo Group to do their advertising. Anybody want to take a guess? $7.9 million in advertising budgeted for. If we had $7.9 million, we could do a lot of great things for kids and we wouldn't need to advertise. So thank you for that question. That was an excellent question. Anybody else have any other questions? Just a couple other announcements. First day of school is Monday, August 23rd. And as of right now, unless something changes based on Department of Health mandates, we will be back in person 5 days a week for all students. Students and staff will not be required to wear masks while at school, although you do have to wear them on the buses. That's the law. Public transportation, you have to wear masks. Individuals who want to wear face masks obviously can wear them in school. That's your choice. Staff and students do not need to be vaccinated to be in schools or to work in schools. And the dress code for the upcoming school year will be the same dress code that we had in place prior to the pandemic. However, I do know the principals are looking at doing more spirit days to kind of reward the students in that capacity. But we will be going back to our standard dress code that was in place prior to the pandemic. Anybody have any questions on that? Okay, now that I talked long enough, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Hajnowski. We'll have you go first, please.
Everyone, good seeing you. With the help of 7 teachers, we had 104 students successfully complete summer school. 34 of these students were middle school students and 70 in the high school. More than 1/2 of the students took 2 summer school classes. So I would say our summer school program was a success. On Monday, July 12th, high school and elementary administrators presented the ESSER COVID Loss of Learning Plan to the district's Loss of Learning Committee. The plan highlighted all of the loss of learning initiatives that are planned to be implemented by the district for the upcoming school year. We fielded specific questions from the committee and the plan was well received. Administration will continue to work throughout the summer to ensure the plan is implemented and runs smoothly throughout the entirety of the upcoming school year. The middle school and high school building is being cleaned by the janitorial staff and is starting to come together very nicely for the upcoming school year. The janitorial staff is doing a wonderful job as always. We are now beginning to install the senior class gift, which is a cell phone charging station for our students and faculty members that might need to utilize it. Administration will be completing our yearly building inspection next week in order to correct any issues and needed repairs before the start of the school year. At this point, the master schedule is 95% complete. It should be finished and finalized within the next day or two so we can get it out and distribute to our staff in preparation for the upcoming school year. Teacher duties and assignments and all back-to-school information is complete and fully updated for the upcoming school year. We will be getting that out to our staff shortly once the master schedule is finalized. Fall sports will be underway in less than 3 weeks. This is always an exciting time of the year for our students, staff, and community as we look forward to successful seasons across a variety of sports. A couple reminders to parents, check Facebook and our district websites daily for updates on back-to-school information as we get closer to the first day. And reminder that no schedule changes will take place this year at back-to-school night. Some key upcoming dates I want to make everybody aware of. August 17th through the 19th is our teacher in-service days. August 19th in the evening is our 7th grade orientation and our back-to-school night. We are planning that to be in person as normal, how we have done it pre-COVID. As Mr. Vanna mentioned earlier, our first day of school is August 23rd. August 30th and August 31st is senior pictures. October 18th and 19th are our senior picture retakes. October 25th is our Life Touch Picture Day for underclassmen. And December 14th is our Life Touch Picture Day retake for our underclassmen. That's all I have for right now. Keep you updated with anything that transpires or takes place. Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Hanowski. Mr. Carnuccio?
Don't have a whole lot, really do have some stuff. We just finished up summer school as well. We had 46 students who participated and are moving on. So with that said, now we're switching gears to our 21-22 school year and thinking about the future stuff of what we need to do. I gave you a bunch of dates last board meeting, but one I will add is Life Touch Pictures. Tuesday, October 12th, we scheduled at 4. We are also looking at dates for our Halloween, Christmas, and Valentine's parties, because I know they're always a elementary favorite, as well as some other things that we want to kind of incorporate. So a couple things that are taking place in the elementary level. If you haven't already been over the elementary, maybe you're going to take a chance to get a chance to walk in our library renovations. We're renovating our library. We are putting 4 rooms in there for our reading remediation, our Title I teachers, and we're also going to put a television studio in there. We're trying to incorporate a television studio for the students to be able to do our morning announcements and maybe get kind of a feel for the AV stuff that they kind of do here in the high school. So we're looking to do that, get that up and running. The maintenance staff have been wonderful. They're doing an awesome job over there getting those rooms ready. It's coming along really nice. I want to backtrack and also mention I want to thank all our teachers who work summer school, the custodians who work summer school, our cafeteria staff who fed the kids, our secretaries who do a wonderful job. I don't get to mention them enough, but our secretaries of elementary do a wonderful job. So all of them work together to make summer school very successful. We're also looking to do some clubs this year. Mr. Kiefer and I looked at our schedule. We kind of built in some time at the end of the day to do some clubs or remediation time for loss of learning. Some of the clubs that we kind of kicked around and already have in place are an AV club, as I mentioned, with the television studio. Yearbook club, we're going to do a yearbook this year in the elementary. We talked to Life Touch. They're going to work with us, get a yearbook. We want to do a yearbook club. We have teachers on board who are emailing some ideas, suggestions of some of the clubs that they would like to see happen. We're going to probably only start in the 5th and 6th grade levels, intermediate levels to start, see how that goes, and see if we can somehow trickle that down maybe next year to the younger grade levels. But they're going to do some remediation stuff in those lower grade levels while other groups are meeting for club time, as well as the 5th and 6th grade when there's not club time. It's going to be remediation time, as I mentioned. Kindergarten, 2nd grade teacher, I know we mentioned this over and over, ECRI. They're going to be doing ECRI training, enhanced core reading and instruction training on August 9th through 11th, so we can get ECRI going in K through 2, not just 1st grade as last year. But that was very successful. We saw a lot of success with that. Hopefully we continue to build upon that with our kindergarten and 2nd grade teachers. And the last thing, I just want to keep reminding parents, if anybody out there has a student who's going to be entering kindergarten, please make sure you register them ASAP, I should say, so we can get them scheduled into a class. That's it.
Any questions for Mr. Carnuccio? Comments?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Carnuccio. I just want to say, thank our admin again, and I think the idea at the elementary school with the clubs is a wonderful idea. So any support, I know the board would support moving forward with that. So, and also I want to mention, we're going to do next week an administrative retreat for a few hours, trying to get the group together and do some team building activities. So just want to mention that. Anyway, thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it. Okay, we're good? Good. Yep.
Okay.
Unless you want me to keep talking. No.
All right. With that, we'll go into old business. I need a motion to approve the board meeting minutes.
Motion.
On a question, all those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Ayes have it. I need a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Motion.
On a question, all those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Ayes have it. I need a motion to authorize the payment of the bills.
Second.
On a question, roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Mrs. Hovenstein.
Yes.
Mr. Kashner.
Yes.
Mr. Persing.
Yes.
Mrs. Scandal.
Yes.
Mr. Shuey.
Yes.
Mr. Sisnusky.
Okay, we'll go into new business. I need a motion to approve all contracts and agreements.
Motion.
On a question? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Hovenstein. Mr. Kashner.
Yeah.
Mr. Persing.
Yes.
Mrs. Scandal.
Yes.
Mr. Shuey.
Yes.
Mr. Sisnusky.
Yes.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
I need a motion to approve the energy performance agreement.
So moved.
Second.
On a question? Roll call.
Mr. Kashner.
Yes.
Mr. Persing.
Yes.
Mrs. Scandal.
Yes.
Mr. Shuey. Mr. Sisnusky.
Yes.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Mrs. Hovenstein.
Yes.
I need a motion to approve the internship.
Second.
On a question? Roll call.
Mr. Persing.
Yes.
Mrs. Scandal.
Yes.
Mr. Shuey.
Yes.
Mr. Sisnusky.
Yes.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Mrs. Hovenstein.
Yes.
Mr. Kashner.
Yes.
I need a motion to approve and disapprove the exoneration request.
Motion.
Second.
On a question? We need a roll call.
Mrs. Scandal.
Yes.
Mr. Shuey. Mr. Sisnusky.
Yes.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Mrs. Hovenstein. Mr. Kashner. Mr. Persing.
Yes. I need a motion to approve the 2021-2022 school health and safety plan.
Motion.
Second.
On a question? Roll call.
Mr. Shuey.
Yes.
Mr. Sisnusky.
Yes.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Mrs. Hovenstein. Mr. Kashner.
Yes.
Mr. Persing.
Yes.
Mrs. Scandal.
Yes.
I need a motion to adopt the new job description.
Motion. Second.
On a question? Roll call.
Mr. Sisnusky.
Yes.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Mrs. Hovenstein. Mr. Kashner.
Yes.
Mr. Persing.
Yes.
Mrs. Scandal.
Yes.
Mr. Shuey.
Yes.
Okay, we'll go into the personnel agenda. We got one change. We're going to remove 6.05. With that being said, I need a motion to approve items 6.01 through 6.11 as listed.
So moved.
Second.
On a question? Roll call.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
Mrs. Hovenstein. Mr. Kashner.
Yes.
Mr. Persing.
Yes.
Mrs. Scandal.
Yes.
Mr. Shuey.
Yes.
Mr. Sisnusky.
Yes.
Board members' reports. Anybody have anything to say?
No, I would like to just thank everybody that was part of the committee that we put together to help with the energy savings project. So there were some community members that gave a lot of their time and energy and efforts into what we had going on, and I just want to thank them for everything that they did. It
Okay.
was a lot of work.
It was. Before we go close the meeting, do we have anything? Yeah. Any comments?
Nothing.
I'm drawing a blank
Can I
here.
just double check?
I'm looking at the,
Nope.
okay. All right. An executive session was held for personnel issues on Monday, July 12, 2021, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., and Wednesday, July 21st, 2021, from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. prior to the regular monthly board meeting. We had no citizens' comments. I need a motion for adjournment.
Motion.
Second,
Second.
we are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.